Yo, what is up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A. Probably going to go through like 15 to 19 questions to answer any generalized questions and in-depth questions that you guys have. So yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and just give me some feedback on what you want to see in the future as far as videos. Because I'm going to try to mix it up with tech and all the rest of that stuff, day in the life and stuff that you guys like. But yeah, let's jump into the questions. I'm turning this into a business. So back in 2016, 2017, I got an email from Puma. This is when I was like fresh out of college, sleeping on my sister's couch. And I had a little bit of a following because I played football in college. And they were offering me $500 for a photo on my Instagram. I think I had like 26,000 or 30,000, something like that. And I thought it was a scam. I emailed, well, I didn't email my dad. I texted my dad and I was like, yo, look at this contract. We're like, fuck it. Let's try it out. Let's sign the contract. The shoes started showing up. I started taking pictures with my friend Dimitri down in Dallas. Formed like a little pack together. I think it was styled by Los and 90x points or something like that. But it was pretty cool, and just started taking pictures with Puma, and then I started getting paid. So I was like, well, if I can get paid to take pictures and have fun doing what I'm doing, then that's something I want to do. And I traveled to New York, ended up meeting some photographers out there, networking with creatives and stuff. This is after I quit my job, which we'll talk about. And went to Vegas right after to an agenda trade show called Magic, or agenda trade show and Magic, where there's a whole bunch of brands there. And I got all their contacts and shit. Went back to Dallas, emailed all those brands, and I was emailing like 60 brands a day. And I just wanted to make some money to be able to pay my rent. So I realized that I could turn it into a business once I saw that I could get paid to just post pictures online. But you still have to put in the work and start reaching out to the brands. And I feel like at that time, it wasn't really a common thing for people to be reaching out to brands or doing this influencer marketing that people talk about. So yeah, just put in the groundwork. But at that point, I realized that I could turn it into a career and start making some money from it. People copying my aesthetic as far as the type of content they create, it sometimes does frustrate me. I'll be completely honest. That's just being transparent. At the same time, everyone loves to say, you know, imitation is the best form of flattering. I just don't think you should ever imitate someone. You can take inspiration from people, but copying someone to the T, I think, is kind of disrespectful. It's just like, you know, people knocking off Nike or copying an Air Jordan 1 or Air Force 1, whatever it is. I think that you should have some respect when it comes to someone's creativity and the process that goes into actually creating it. So how I feel about it, I'm kind of indifferent because, yes, I'm inspiring people to change their lives because I've seen different perspectives on people saying, you've helped me get out of a dark place with this content, and I want to mock that. That way I'm able to do positive things in my life. So I think it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. Some people just blatantly copy because they see it's working for someone else. And I think that you should go your own route when it comes to content creation, and you can pull inspiration from other people, but don't just blatantly copy. So I'm kind of at a crossroads with that. The most lucrative business, it really depends. I mean, when I focus on my marketing company and picking up clients and stuff like that, that can be my most lucrative business. And I say that because it's more on a consistent basis. You're getting paid every single month or weekly, bi-weekly, whatever it is, versus Instagram. Instagram, you do get huge chunks of cash, but it's 30, 60, sometimes 90-day nets. You're not seeing that money for a good amount of time. So I would say marketing company, then Instagram. My photography studio, it's up and down just because it's not something I really look to push to be a big profit margin thing. It's something more for my friends to enjoy and a place for me to have as a creative space. And it's something that I opened, you know, kind of out on a limb and made sure that I challenged myself in a new business area that I wasn't comfortable with because it used to be a creative co-working space. Then COVID happened, downsized to just the photography aspect. But I would say marketing company, Instagram, and then I'm getting into Amazon FBA, and that's something we'll talk about later. Editing my videos, so I've talked about this before. On the iPhone or iOS or Android, I use CapCut, which is a free app. I think you can download the pro version, but I don't think you need it. And you also have InShot, which is another free app. You can get the pro version if you need to. I don't really think it's needed. You can edit your stuff on there, do slow zooms, add text, and all that stuff. Now on the desktop, I do use Premiere Pro, and that's based in Adobe Cloud. Adobe Cloud is a monthly subscription. I believe if you're a college student, you can get it for a discounted price, or you can pay the annual fee. I don't know exactly what that is off the top of my head. I think it might be $129 or something like that, who knows. But I use Premiere Pro on the actual desktop. Balancing a relationship and being a content creator, I would say that you have to have a conversation with your partner, or your partner has to understand exactly what you do. when I have to work, my partner has to understand that I have to get stuff done to make sure that I'm able to have time for them as well. So I think finding the balance is finding someone who understands exactly what you do, because if you find someone who gets upset about you having to record or you having to edit or you having to go to this certain event, it's really not going to work out, because it's going to create frustration between you two, and it's just going to continuously cause tension. Later down the road, it's going to continuously build up. If they don't understand at the beginning, they're never going to get it. And I think it's just about, setting those boundaries and understanding, like, again, if I have to work, I'm going to get this done. And then whenever I'm done with that, we can go enjoy whatever we want to do in life, because my lifestyle is facilitated by the work that I put in. So making your partner understand that there has to be a balance there. It can't just be all fun and no work is very important to establish at the beginning. Overcoming the fear of judgment, I think, is more of like an internal thing, because I think we're wired to kind of be embarrassed to show off or express how or what we want to do in life, because other people always have their opinions and usually they want to shoot your shit down. And in simple terms, they fucking suck because they're too scared to go do things themselves. But I just say overcoming fear is just like a self-confidence thing. It's like when I first started going out and shooting with a tripod in the middle of the street or at a busy place. You just have to understand in the thought process of, one, you're probably never going to see these people again in your life, so their opinion really doesn't fucking matter in the first place. And two, you're doing your job, you're getting paid, and if you're first starting out, you're working towards getting paid, so it's something that you just have to get comfortable with. And if people are judging you that are around you, please just tell them to fuck off and go about your business, because that's not your friend. They should be supporting exactly what you have going on. So I just think that that's really important, is the self-confidence part. And that's something that you have to work on daily. It's not just going to happen overnight. Go out and put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and then you'll start building confidence, because it's about the confidence that you walk into a room with versus like what people say, you can be the best dressed and still not be the most fashionable. You can have on Walmart clothes and still have the best confidence in the room, and people will gravitate towards you. So just work on your confidence, every single day, telling yourself that you're the best, and go out and perform like you're the best, and just put yourself in uncomfortable situations to make yourself better. Starting out making money as a content creator, that's more of a question that I get nowadays. More than at the beginning of when I started, because people weren't really looking to get money. I guess you're just doing it for the love of it. But to go into content creation, I will say, one, love what you actually do versus just like chasing a check, because it's gonna become a job to you versus something that you actually love. But to get started, I would always just reach out to brands via DM. Create yourself a media kit where it has all your numbers on there, all your analytics. Reach out to them, ask for a marketing contact. They're either going to get back to you or they're not. And once you get that marketing contact, you want to express to them, one, why you enjoy the brand, what you're looking to do with the brand, and always try to get long-term partnerships versus just one-off deals, and building the relationship there. Whether it's you have your price sheet and understanding like, okay, this is my threshold of what I'm not going to accept, and you can even shoot for the stars. I always say overprice yourself, because if you come down to what you originally wanted, it's a win-win situation. So starting out getting money as a content creator, you don't need a shit ton of followers. You can get paid to do I think it's UGC content, where you can just literally record the content for the company and then just send it over to them and get paid. So if you already have household stuff that you're already using, create content for it, send it over to the brand, and then you can get paid that way as well. But you got to put in the groundwork. It's called guerrilla marketing. You got to basically just work the DMs to get the marketing contacts that you need. You're not going to get paid a shit ton of money at first. Just being transparent, you might get $200 for a post, but $200 can pay your phone bill. That's how you have to look at it, or cover any expense that you currently have. So getting into content creation and getting paid is just really just putting in the work, putting together yourself a deck. If you're not familiar with what a deck is, please just YouTube that. But yeah, it's all about just pitching yourself correctly, knowing your numbers, and actually bringing value to the company versus you just want to get paid. You can't just stand in front of walls and wear clothes. Everybody and their mom can do that, because Zara puts out aesthetic stuff that looks like high-end shit. So if you're just a person that stands in front of a wall and looks nice with clothes on, you're not getting paid, because the fashion industry is the lowest paying industry ever in influencer marketing. So you got to find something to separate yourself from others to actually make yourself have value for that company to actually want to pay you. The best mistake I've ever made. It's not even a mistake. It was a great choice. It's quitting my 9 to 5. I was tired of working at a job. I'm just over it. I don't think you should ever show up to a place just to get a paycheck. If you legitimately hate waking up in the morning and going to your job, it's not for you. Because I don't think life was put here for someone to wake up, brush your teeth, and just talk about like how much you hate your job with your friends, and just thinking about it all day about I'm about to get off work, go home, relax, and actually enjoy things I want to do. I get paychecks are fine, but I tell people all the time, half the time you're already struggling getting the paychecks. You're struggling anyways. You might as well quit your job and go try to do this shit for yourself, because I'm not going to continuously wake up and go to a job that I dislike and do that for the rest of my life. That's not life, because you're just existing and not actually living. So the best mistake that I've ever made was letting go of that 9 to 5 and going to chase something that I was actually passionate about and putting in the work to do it, because it's not going to happen overnight. As much as people think that success comes with ease now that you got social media and shit, making everybody think they're, you know, this entrepreneur or entrepreneurship is easy, it's not. You're going to be poor for a while, and that's okay, because being broke is a mindset. You'll be broke for a little while. You can have $1 million ideas in your head. You just have to unlock them and go actually do what you're supposed to do to go make the money. So the best mistake I've ever made is quitting my 9 to 5 and going to chase what I actually was passionate about in life. I decided to start YouTube because of the longevity that I want to see myself in content creation. As I expressed in a tweet today, YouTube is for longevity. Instagram is all built off of an algorithm that is about content that was currently put out. YouTube, we can see videos from 5, 10 years ago that are still in the algorithm suggested to people because of the relevancy and the search engine that they had. Instagram will slowly die, you know, and get down to a point to where it's very stagnant if they don't get their shit together, because you already see how TikTok has came in and kind of took over the game, and the format is just a lot better. It's more raw, and Instagram is basically trying to play catch up and copycat like some of these people do on my content and just try to be, you know, something that is not. So yeah, I just think YouTube is just something to where, one, you get to see me and my personality versus trying to judge me through a video with music on it. Because I think I'm a very outgoing person, I'm a very sarcastic person, as you can see on here, and I'm a very relatable person when it comes to regular life issues, stress, anxiety, depression, and shit like that. I deal with that. So YouTube is for me to connect with my audience more in long-form content, and for them to see like my day-to-day operations and get a little bit more insight on who I am as a person and just the longevity of it. If I start running an agency with no experience, you know, knowledge or clients, I think it's really important to kind of do your research. And sometimes you gotta take risks or, you know, not get paid and get your experience. For me, an example was when I first started my agency, I needed to get some companies underneath my belt, and they really didn't have any big budget. So the first budget that we got, I didn't make any money off of it personally. I just made sure my team was paid, and I was able to put that in my portfolio. So being able to make those small sacrifices at the beginning to get those clients, or if you need to put in free work to build your portfolio, you're gonna have to do that. Having knowledge in the marketing field is going to be to your advantage. I didn't graduate with a marketing degree. You can do YouTube University and learn how to pitch clients and stuff like that. That's just a couple of searches, you sitting down and getting familiar with what you have going on. So I don't think you need a ton of knowledge to start an agency. You don't even need money. All you need to be able to do is pay a monthly subscription for a website for people to contact you, but you don't need any upfront costs to start an agency unless you want to start an LLC and stuff like that, which is about $500 to start. But starting out, you don't need an LLC to get started. Don't let that ever deter you. That's something that you can get months or about like a year in and still be able to get your stuff done correctly. So I just think you really don't need that much knowledge. You just have to be able to put in the work and basically, you know, put in the hours to educate yourself in the proper fields to get the work done. My next goal in life, create more streams of passive income. I'm getting into Amazon FBA, and that's going to be something that's making me passive income, getting into real estate, Airbnbs, and stuff like that. So for the 5-year plan, I still want to be able to create content and stuff like that, because I want to do it for at least 7 more years that I talk about being like 35 and being done with it. But in 5 years, I just want to have passive income and be investing in other stuff outside of Instagram and, you know, YouTube. I want to use that money to facilitate those things and grow my knowledge in other areas where I can just sit back, collect checks on the first of the month, have that facilitate my lifestyle, and still be able to use that money to invest in more and more things and just educate myself in new areas that I'm currently not, you know, knowledgeable in. How do I define financial freedom? Financial freedom to me, this may not be for everyone, is having all your bills taken care of at the first of the month with no thought. Every time the first of the month comes up, it's not even an issue. Most people's issue is that on the first of the month, it's a worry for them or a concern that they're not going to be able to pay their rent. Imagine if you didn't have like rent on your mind or your bills on your mind, and you're able to just go about life and be like, okay, cool, it's just another day to me, pay this and go about your business. So financial freedom to me is, in one aspect, being able to have your bills just taken care of. Another thing is being able to travel and do as you please. If your bills and stuff are taken care of and you have profit on the side, going out and traveling comfortably the way that you want to, doing the things that you want to, and not having to settle for less. Like say if you're going on a vacation, it's like, okay, well, I want to upgrade my flight, but I really don't have the money, so I'm going to sit in the back and maybe my hotel will be a little bit better. You want to be able to do everything that you want to do. I want to be able to fly first class, have a nice hotel, be able to spend when I get there, because some people will go on vacations and have zero money to spend, and I don't really think that that's really like financial freedom. You want to be able to do as you please. If you want to go buy yourself something, I always tell people that it's really important to make sure that you can buy it 2 or 3 times. That way that you're financially stable and you have no concerns if I go pay this, I might be in a hole the next month. So financial freedom to me is being able to take care of my bills, move the way I want to move, and just live life the way I want to. If something pops up, I got cash set aside to where I don't need to work for damn near a year. I can just chill, pay my bills, live comfortably, and just let the rest take care of itself. Do I think Instagram is slowly dying? Yes. Just for the simple fact, like I stated in the earlier question, they're trying to copy other people at this point, and at that point you're starting to feel the heat. And you're starting to get in competition with another app when you were the front runner in the first place with the innovation of the app and a lot of the stuff that they developed. You can see that they stole stories from Snapchat, which that worked, but now you can't be TikTok. So the more Instagram tries to be something that it's not, the slower it's going to die and people are going to get disinterested in it. Because we all got on Instagram and started on Instagram to post pictures of our actually daily activities, sharing moments with your friends, your family, traveling, and for it to get away from it not being a photo app when that's what it started to be in the first place and that's what its foundation was built off of. Once you start to stray from something that made you what you are, you're going to fucking fail. And hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but the way that they're going, that shit is going to go downhill. Because I'll be completely honest with you, Instagram gets boring as fuck to me. I post and get off. My job is to be a producer. I am not a consumer. It is what it is. A lot of stuff on Instagram does not interest me. YouTube always holds my attention. Whether it's looking up watches or learning about the latest tech, Instagram does not give me that. It's short form content that is scroll, and usually you're mindlessly scrolling. So if Instagram doesn't fix their shit, yeah, it's definitely going to be downhill for them. Favorite items that I got from my place? I don't really know anything specific. I like the tech in my house, like the little kettle and stuff that I have. My Dyson V8 Animal is really cool, cordless, vacuum, diffusers and stuff that I have. I just say the tech overall in general, like the tech and stuff that I have is really cool. I have a Dyson lamp that's really dope. Some Philips Hue lights that kind of set the mood in the house. Diffusers. I would say the tech in my house is really something that I enjoy. And then just the overall aesthetic, like my plants and everything. I say everything in my fucking house is, I love it all, to be honest. It's just comfortable and it feels like a home to me versus just like an apartment. What makes me the happiest and how important is mental health for me? 2 great questions. What makes me the happiest is doing what I love. Waking up every single day and having the freedom to, if I don't want to work today, I don't have to work today. Or if I want to travel, I'm able to travel. So that's what makes me happy. Being able to have the freedom and again, not existing and actually living life is something that I really take pride in and it makes me really happy. It's not the amount of money that I have in my account, it's the freedom that you wake up with. Because when I first quit my job, I didn't have to go give somebody else 40 hours of my week. Didn't really have any money to my name, to be completely honest. I had like $2,000 and I felt free. So freedom is what really makes me happy. And the importance of mental health is really important. I talked about this in one of my podcasts that like when I first started out, that hustle mentality was more of like my, path that I wanted to take, grinding 24/7, and not really prioritizing like family, friends, and the relationships that I could have like harbored or nurtured during that time. And I think it's really important to focus on that because if you isolate yourself so much, you're so like distant from people, and when you're dealing with issues, you bottle it up internally. And I don't really think that that's something that you should do. You should always prioritize your mental health, take breaks, go out, take walks, take days off. Like I take Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday off and stuff like that. So mental health is really important, and I've preached that in the podcast. Is isolation needed to gain success? I think you guys should really watch that, because I go in depth a little bit more about the importance of mental health. But I think it's really, really important that you take those days for yourself. Do I offer mentorship sessions? I offer one-on-one coaching. I don't do mentorship right now. I just don't have the time. But I do have one-on-one coaching sessions. They are one introductory call and then 2 one-hour calls throughout the month. It's $1,500. I do have on there the payment options of Afterpay and Affirm. That way, if you qualify for their payment plan, you can do that for yourself. I offer 3 sessions a month. And yeah, so that's what I do offer currently right now. And I also have an ebook that goes over all my social media stuff. It's like $30. It's also located on my site, which you can find down below in the description. But yeah, mentorship right now I don't offer, but I do offer those services. I am 28 years old. I will be 29 November 9th. I was born in 1993. How do I navigate through moments of being discouraged as a creator? I mean, sometimes you just gotta take a step back, because you're gonna run into creator block and you're gonna feel like, okay, well, I'm not doing enough, or my content's not performing the way that I wanted to perform. And I think that you just have to take a step back and reset. I have my reset days to where I'll chill, get a massage, take a day for myself, get my favorite food, or take 2 days for myself. Take enough time for yourself to actually sit back and process that it's not you that sucks. It's just a moment in time that you're dealing with, that you're gonna get past. It's just currently not working out at the moment. And I really think that you should just take those couple of days to yourself. So that question is super long, but it's up here. So just to talk about finance in general, I always think that you should put 20% in your savings. They have a little thing on Chase where anything put into your account, mine is set for anything deposited at $50 or more, it puts 20% back in my savings, because you're gonna have rainy days, you're gonna have moments to where your cash is just needed, your transmission goes out and all the rest of that stuff. So financial advice, I think it's always good to budget. Never spend beyond what you actually have. Like I said earlier, if you can't buy it 2 to 3 times, you probably don't need it at that moment. Save your money, buy it later when you're in a more comfortable position. Investing, I don't invest too much in all the stocks and all the rest of that stuff, so I really don't have any advice for you guys with that currently. I just invest in actually making myself more money with passive income, like the Amazon FBA and that stuff. But financial advice, be responsible with your money, because it's really important and it's gonna take you a long way as long as you have like some money set aside for yourself. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I handle my own finances and make sure that I'm taken care of. It's all about being responsible. If your friends are out here balling up and doing their thing, don't try to keep up with the Joneses and go spend out what they spend on the weekend and then come home and you looking at your bank account like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have spent that. So just be responsible in that aspect and just make sure you take care of your cash. Well, that wraps up all the questions. Hopefully it got in depth with a lot more stuff than you guys thought, and touched on the subjects that you guys wanted to hear. If you guys got more questions, feel free to drop it below. I might do another Q&A a couple of months down the line to build up some different questions that I didn't get to answer on this one. But yeah, just always remember to like, comment, subscribe, give some feedback for your boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boom. How long is that?